You know what? I really want to talk to you about innovation. What is it in today's market context? And how do you explain it to someone really stupid?
I like this. If I want to simplify the whole idea of innovation, because now everyone is talking about innovation, I would go for the simplest format of the term. When we talk about innovation, it's three things. I always tell people, remember these three things when you think about innovation to validate if the idea is innovative or not. Is it something new? So you ask, because usually we call everything new, it's innovative. Is it something that people need? So is it solving a functional problem? Is it solving an emotional problem? And does it create value? Does it create an impact? Does it change? So if you want to understand what is innovation, it needs to be linked to these three things. Is it new? Is it something people need? And does it create value? So that's the simplest definition that we can give about the idea of innovation. And in this age, it's a survival skill. Because if you don't understand how to innovate, if you don't push yourself to innovate, you won't be able to survive in the future. Humans survived and evolved because of innovation, because they were able to find new things that served their own needs and created value for their life. So it's a survival skill.
How do we bring this right now, not only to the products, but I don't know, to culture, to people, how do we adapt innovation to different realities?
Businesses and people and cultures and nations, they evolved and they prospered because of innovation. We don't give it the term innovation, but they were always trying to find new ways to do better things. And so that's when we realize this, we start giving it more value. We start actually putting more attention to the whole idea of innovation. And we always say, like, when we talk about marketing, it's art and science. We talk about strategy, art and science. Innovation is also part art, part strategy.
Yeah.
And the art part is your ability to observe what's happening and to spot the opportunities and the pain points to be able to solve a problem, because innovation usually starts by finding a problem or finding an opportunity, so which is also a primitive thing. And then you start building the right framework to build it, and you can use innovation across different realities. So
it's like business plan 101. Find a problem, find a solution.
That's it. But because this is what we always say, it is that simple. But it starts with your mindset, because it's stating the obvious. So we go back to start with insight to be able to reach breakthrough. And an insight is two things. A need, that is usually a pain point. So there is a problem that I'm trying to solve. And if you think about any innovation in the world, it was all because of a pain point, something that we couldn't live without or we couldn't live through. So we wanted to find a solution for it. Or we were looking at something that excited us, something that motivated us, so a positive thing, an aspirational thing, a big vision, a bold vision. So we're trying to make this vision come to life. The way I look at them, it's a pain or a pleasure point. So when we understand that the insight comes from the truth beyond the obvious, you start building stronger and better innovation, and you start building better products, you start building better processes, you start building better services, you start building better businesses. But it always starts with the mindset. So you need to have your mind open to explore, to experiment, to fail, to test, to try, to challenge the way you think. So you are able to build the right ecosystem. And when you have the right ecosystem built through different tools, different processes, different structures, through people as well, you're able to move into roadmaps or strategy and go to market. So that's how you build an innovation and how you use this across all realities. So it's not only in business. Even if you take it on your personal life, if you want to solve a personal problem, you need to have your mindset open and ready.
Yourself.
You start building better activities within your daily life, and then you start implementing it. And then you start building an innovative life for yourself, like for your business.
So I believe some innovation is something that you can coach or something that people can learn.
Yes.
As a skill.
Absolutely, like anything else.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm surprised. So every time I talk to business leaders, to CEO, to founders, to owners, and I ask them, do you have a marketing department? And the usual answer is, of course. You have a finance department? Of course. Do you have an HR department? Yeah, probably. Do you have an innovation department? And most of the times the answer is no. So how do you expect yourself to grow if the most important and the most successful driver for growth is innovation and you don't have it as a practice? So this is where you start using this as part of your daily routine. And Peter Drucker has a saying, I'll paraphrase it, that the core function of any business are marketing and innovation. So we think about marketing, but we forget innovation. Marketing will help you deliver the message, but innovation will help you build the right fundamentals of a strong, successful business.
I think innovation should be coming from the leadership itself.
It's a top-down approach.
That's your department to look at.
So the way I like to look at it is a top-down, left to right, right to left, diagonal, cross, complete experience. I use the word from chairman to doorman, because this is how you innovate. Like you build a culture from chairman to doorman, innovation is a chairman to doorman experience. But it needs to be driven by the leader. So this is why most of the times it's mostly a leader driving it, a CEO, a founder, the owner. They need to believe in it. They need to understand that, okay, I have to tackle innovation as an independent practice that will work with all other departments. So I need to have my chief innovation officer, or I need to become the chief innovation officer, because that's part of the requirement or the job function of any CEO or any leader is to innovate. Because you're tasked to lead the business for growth. And how do you grow? So you don't grow by only cutting costs. You grow by exploring new opportunities, by solving big problems, billion-dollar problems, moonshot projects that will put your business in a different market, in a different field.
Who are your favorite innovators?
I love Elon Musk. I think he's definitely not a conventional thinker. And we need this. For humanity, we need this. He doesn't see the impossible. He sees the potential of an idea and he will push it till the extreme. And he will backtrack the impossible into reality. And that's for me the foundation of great successful innovators. So, of course, we have, I like artists as well that can experiment. And so I always say innovation is art and science, because it started with the art. It started with exploration as well. So. But in the modern days, I believe Elon Musk is definitely, for me, the most challenging, the most inspiring innovator on all terms. Okay, from a process to ideas to management to leadership to personality. He's not a conventional person.
Absolutely,
you can like him, you can hate him, but still
you cannot be indifferent to him, for sure.
You cannot be indifferent.
That's, I think, a success story, because if you like or hate, it's at least you're evoking emotion.
Yeah.
And that's most important.
Absolutely. He is someone who will trigger you.
Yeah.
Okay. You want someone to say, I don't like this guy. He's too arrogant. This is part of the differentiation that a successful leader will and can create and should create as well.
What is your favorite case on innovation? What's the latest and that really touched you?
Okay, I'll stick to something that Elon Musk is working on, that I believe is going to be a radical innovation that will change humanity, which is Neuralink.
Yeah.
And for me, this is the scariest thing that we need to keep monitoring until it becomes mainstream. So you have different types of innovation. You have the incremental innovation. So look at your iPhone, for example. It's an incremental innovation. They weren't the first to create a screen, but they did it better. They created something different, okay, in terms of experience.
The fastest iPhone every year.
Exactly, the fastest iPhone every year. And the better camera by adding 2 megapixels here. So that's incremental.
Yeah.
Then you have the business model, and this is where you start changing the way you operate. So we have the Airbnbs or the Ubers of the world. They change the business model of a in actual practice,
Yeah.
like car hailing. So you used to stand on the side of the road trying to get a taxi. Now you order through an app. So
Yeah.
it's changing the business model, creating new technologies and new solutions. Then you have the breakthroughs or the disruptions where you change the way we experience the world.
Yeah.
Uber disrupted
Exactly.
the car industry or the what we call it the service of getting a taxi. So now you don't wait on the door. You have an app that you can still, but the majority of the experience now changed. When we look at Neuralink, similar to what ChatGPT is doing or the internet did for us at a certain time, Neuralink is going to turn us into cyborgs, into real cyborgs. And our life will change and the way we experience the world will change because now the implants are going to help us experience a completely different reality. And with the rise of AI, we cannot predict the future and we cannot predict the future of humanity. And Neuralink is different because it's going to be integrated in us as a human and it's going to change our biology, in my opinion. So that's one of the innovations that is, I believe, new. I'm not sure if we need that, but
Is
it
it
is
scary
solving,
or exciting for you?
it is both.
Yeah.
Because do we need that? Yes. It is solving a lot of medical issues and we've seen the cases.
Yeah.
Does it create value? It's going to change. It's going to change the world, and I would definitely observe this change closely and see how it's going to accelerate.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited, very afraid at the same time. Is we're going to reach an age where the Terminator story is going to become reality. So that's one. That's an exciting thing. Another beautiful story and beautiful innovation that I'm fascinated with is a project that Google are working on called Solving Death. So
What is
solving death, they looked at death as a problem instead of an end result. And they started reframing the problem by changing the questions. So what if death is not the end? What if death is the problem? How do we solve it? And this will help you, I mean, take it to your own self, to your own business. If you have a problem, change the question, you start looking at different opportunities. So from this question and from this reframing of this existential question, they started coming up with a lot of great solutions in the medical field, in the de-aging solutions, skin care,
Yeah.
because they found out that the number one reason for death is what? Is aging. So if we can solve aging, we're able to solve a big part of the death experience. This is what we teach and we work on with a lot of our partners is how do you reframe problems?
Yeah.
Reframing is a very strategic exercise that is at the core of successful innovations. So you take a problem, you actually reframe the problem into something, into what we call finding the right problem before finding the solutions. Because I've read the study and I always say it, 85% of businesses and people, they end up solving the wrong problems. So we actually spend a lot of time thinking we're solving problems, but we're solving the wrong problems. So when you understand the real problem and you understand how do you reframe the right problem, you're able to find better solutions and build better innovation. So that's technically what these guys are doing. We're looking at big problems, big existential problems, and we're trying to find great solutions that they seem impossible at the time, but we don't know how it's going to end. It's going to change the way we live and the world we live in. And that's exciting, of course. Scary, very scary,
Definitely.
but of course exciting.